right, welcome back. You've made it to day 3. Good job. We've been talking about the peace challenge, and we're talking really about how to disagree agreeably in this very charged time and place in history. It's so important that we understand how we can disagree agreeably. You know, the goal of this whole thing is not winning or losing. It's not you becoming like somebody else or somebody else becoming like you. The goal is love. We can actually walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. And that's really important for us to understand. So step 1 in this whole thing was check your heart. How you doing? What do you want? And is that okay? We talked about going to God and really asking that. Step 2 is listen to understand. Asking the question, what do they want? What is in their mind and heart? And really to understand that those who seek first to understand and then to be understood do a lot better when it comes to living peacefully. So I encourage you about those things. Now, step number 3 is this: write your rough draft. You got to write your rough draft. You got to be able to know where you're going with what you want and really get it clear. But it's a rough draft because you're not going to show it to anybody except for God to start with, okay? So I want to read a verse and explain a situation from the Bible that you might relate to. It was Hezekiah in Isaiah chapter 37. There was this enemy army, the Assyrians, and they were going to come and get the Israelites. King Hezekiah of Israel was scared, disappointed, angry, upset, felt like this shouldn't be happening, and wanted to go to God with his rough draft. Okay, and here's what he did. In verse 14 of Isaiah 37, it says, after Hezekiah received the letter from the messengers with the bad news, and read it, he went up to the Lord's temple and spread it out before the Lord. Now, this is what I love about Hezekiah. He takes this letter, this bad news, and he lays it out in front of God and goes, look at this. This is horrible. You can't let this happen, God. And then he adds all these words and basically writes a rough draft of his complaint to God of what his heart was. What did he want and why? And he got that out and got clear on it. And I'm going to give you right now 8 questions, 8 magical questions that have helped me so much in my life to just get clear about really what's bothering me, about what I want to see changed, about why sometimes I'm frustrated. And so I'm going to share these questions. They'll be on the screen, and I want you to write them down because these will be very helpful for you. Question number 1, what's a difficult or troubling situation in your life? It's a good question. Sometimes it's good just to sit and let that sit there and really then write out your rough draft. What is it that you want and why? Question number 2, what payoffs or benefits do you get for keeping it like it is? That's a great question too. Question number 3, what cost do you pay for keeping it like it is? Sometimes we pay a cost, but we keep it like it is. Question number 4, how do you create, promote, or allow it to stay that way? How do you create, promote, or allow it to stay that way? Question number 5, what do you pretend not to know? Sometimes something's off, something's wrong. We have a tough relationship with somebody, a sharp disagreement with somebody, and we pretend not to know something. Question number 6, what do you want? Simply state it. What is it that you want? Question number 7, what actions can you take and what requests to get it? Sometimes we just haven't clarified what it is that we're seeking and what action could we take, what requests in order to get it? And question number 8, when will you do that? I've used this responsibility process, these 8 questions, so many times in my 22 years of leadership at Westside, in my 13 years as a lead pastor, in my years of coaching other pastors, that these questions have been very helpful in just uncovering sometimes that underlying sore or that underlying problem that's kind of ruminating in my life and just getting it out there. That's called a rough draft. And I want to encourage you to get this rough draft written and then lay it out in front of God. And we'll talk about the next step tomorrow.